Maya, an elderly weaver, had spent her entire life in the peaceful village nestled at the edge of a dense forest. Her hands, though weathered by time, still moved with grace and skill as she wove intricate patterns on her loom. She had inherited this craft from her mother, who had inherited it from her mother before, and so on for generations. To Maya, weaving was more than just a craft, it was an expression of her soul, a language of threads that told the stories of her life. Each pattern was a reflection of a memory, each color a piece of emotion. One day, as the sun bathed the village in golden light, Lila, a young girl from the village, approached Maya's modest cottage. She had heard tales of Maya's beautiful woven textiles, each one more exquisite than the last, and she was drawn to the idea of creating something beautiful with her own hands. But Lila had doubts. She had tried her hand at many things, from painting to pottery, but nothing had ever come out the way she imagined. "Maya," she said hesitantly, "I want to learn how to weave, but I'm afraid I'll never be able to do it as well as you. My work always seems so imperfect." Maya looked at Lila, her warm, wise eyes filled with understanding. She motioned for Lila to sit beside her at the loom. "Let me show you something," she said gently, picking up a shuttle with her practiced hands. "You're not here to create something perfect. You're here to learn to love the process, to connect with the threads, with the loom, with yourself. Only then will you find perfection, not in the outcome, but in the way you pour your heart into what you do." Lila watched, mesmerized, as Maya's hands moved like a dance, threading the shuttle through the loom with effortless grace. The rhythm of the weaving was almost meditative, each motion flowing naturally from the last. But when Lila tried to take the shuttle in her own hands, her fingers felt clumsy. The threads tangled, and the cloth seemed to twist in odd directions. Frustration began to rise within her, but Maya, with a soft smile, simply said, "Don't worry. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about finding your own rhythm and trusting that the process will guide you." Maya's words lingered in the air, and slowly, Lila began to calm. She focused not on the mistakes, but on the movement of her hands, the feel of the threads slipping through her fingers. She no longer tried to force the loom to do what she wanted, but allowed it to teach her. She wove slowly at first, carefully following Maya's instructions, but as she worked, something began to shift inside her. She started to see the beauty in the imperfections. Each small mistake, each uneven thread, became part of the story she was telling with her hands. There was a certain magic in the way the fabric began to take shape, a story woven not just with threads, but with the patience and love that Lila was beginning to pour into it. As the days passed, Lila's skills grew. She learned to trust the loom, and with every thread she wove, she became more connected to the process. The colors in her cloth grew brighter, the patterns more intricate, and soon, the young girl was creating pieces that were unlike anything she had imagined. But it wasn't the beauty of the finished work that filled her with joy, it was the quiet contentment she found in the act of weaving itself. One afternoon, as they sat side by side at the loom, Maya paused in her work and looked at Lila with a deep sense of pride. "Do you see it, Lila?" she asked, her voice soft with understanding. "You've found it. You've found the beauty in imperfection, in the journey of creation. That's where true perfection lies." Lila smiled, her heart full of gratitude and a newfound peace. She now understood what Maya had meant. The weaving was no longer about achieving a flawless result, it was about pouring love into the process, embracing each moment of creation. The threads, the patterns, and even the mistakes, each was part of a greater tapestry that reflected her own growth, her patience, and her love for what she did. From that day on, Lila wove with a new sense of joy and freedom. She knew now that perfection wasn't a destination, it was the quiet harmony found in the act of creation, in the love woven into every thread, and in the deep connection between the heart and the work. And Maya, watching the young weaver bloom, knew that she had passed on more than just the skill of weaving. She had shared a deeper lesson, that in learning to love what you do, you find beauty and perfection in the process itself. The story of Maya and Lila teaches us that perfection is not an end goal but a byproduct of loving what we do. In our fast-paced lives, we often chase flawless results, but the true beauty lies in the process itself, the effort, the learning, and the growth. Like weaving, every part of life, whether it's our work, relationships, or personal goals, involves moments of struggle, imperfection, and discovery. If we embrace each step with patience, love, and dedication, we will find peace and fulfillment in the journey itself. Perfection is not something we achieve, it's something we experience when we are fully present in what we do and learn to appreciate the beauty of imperfection. This moral can be applied to many areas of life, whether we're learning a new skill, working on a project, or building relationships. When we focus on enjoying the process and letting go of the need for perfection, we create meaningful experiences and find satisfaction in the journey. Thanks for watching. If this video brought you value, please like, share, and subscribe, it really helps support the channel. And I'd love to know what you think, so leave a comment below.